What's up guys, it's Ella. Welcome back to my channel whether you're new here or not, and today we are going to be going over my entire physical TBR. So right here we have my trusty little book cart that I keep most of my physical TBR on. I do have a few TBR books at my dad's house on my bookshelves, but mostly that's where I keep the books that I have read, and this is my TBR cart. So I got this cart at Target for like 35 bucks last school year, or like last August, like right before school started. So anyway, I'm not gonna give too much of a description about these books unless they've been like recommended to me or I've heard something about them, but for the most part I'm just going to be showing you what books I have on my physical TBR. It's a lot, okay? Don't. So first we'll do hardcovers. So we have The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan He. This book is a sci-fi fantasy, I think it's a science fiction book, and I've heard really good things about it. It was really big on Book Talk for a hot minute, and I got it 50% off, so I bought it, but I haven't read it, hence it being in my TBR video. We have A Touch of Jen by Beth Morgan. I think this book, again, I got it for 50% off at like a Barnes & Noble hardcover 50% off sale. I think this book is about like a social media star named Jen, not Beth. Beth's the author. A social media star named Jen, and people are like obsessed with her, and then they go to this party and see that it's not all that meets the eye, I guess. Again, haven't read it, but it's on my TBR. Okay, this next one is actually one that's like pretty prevalent on my TBR, and that's Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead by Emily Austen. I really do want to read this book. It's like not that big, like it seems like it would be a quick little read, so I should probably get to it, and like I should probably just do it, but I haven't. I did read like 2 chapters over the school year, but it was a little bit too heavy for my mental state at the time, so I put it down, but I definitely will be picking it back up soon. Next we have a big one, and that's Paradise, Nevada by Dario Diefebbi. I'm pretty sure I nailed that. This book is big. Look at that. It's a big book, and it's hardcover, so it's like heavy. Like this is not going to be comfortable to read. Again, I got it for half off at a Barnes & Noble sale, and I liked the cover, so I bought it. Astrid Sees All by Natalie Standiford. This book I haven't really heard like anything about, but again, got it for 50% off at the Barnes & Noble 50% off sale. And it's about like a girl living in New York City in the 1980s, and there's like sex, drugs, and rock and roll vibes from what I understand. So again, I'll get to it. This one I'm pretty sure I'll get to. Paradise, Nevada, don't know that I'll ever get to it. Atomic Habits by James Clear. This is my best friend's copy that I just keep on my book cart. I actually have had it for so long, I don't know that she remembers that I have it. Cheyenne, I'm sorry. This book is nonfiction, and I'm not a huge like nonfiction person, but I am reading Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton, and if that gets me, I have a feeling that's gonna get me in like a nonfiction like self-help mood, and so then I will pick this up. Okay, so now below that is like romances that I haven't read. So we have The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. This book was recommended to me by Steph Bohr. She like said that she really liked it in one of her videos, and I bought it last summer while I was at the beach, and I read the books that I had brought to read, but I haven't read it yet. So speaking of Steph Bohr, we have Normal People by Sally Rooney. This is one of her favorite books, if you didn't know. This book I tried to read, and can't get through it, but maybe one day. The next book I have is Rafe. This book I bought, it's an indie published romance. It's very tiny, and I bought it because I had heard good things about it, and I've heard even better things about the second book, but I have to get through the first book to get to the second book, and I haven't gotten through the first book yet. Okay, moving on. Alright, You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. I read one other Sarah Hogle book and absolutely hated it. I hated it so much. It was Twice Shy maybe, or is that Sally Thorne? I don't know. There were like 2 books that like have very similar covers. Anyway, I read her other book and absolutely hated it, so I'm a little bit nervous for this one, and I've been putting it off. The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. As you can see, I've started it and then this was another one that I started during the school year. This happened a lot. Like I would start books during the school year and just not finish them or not even like get to the good part. Like I'm 50 pages into this. I'll pick it back up again, absolutely, but I don't know when. Then we have The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. I got this for my birthday and again, like it sounds really good. Sounds like something I will enjoy. I don't know why I haven't read this yet. Like looking at it now, I'm looking at the cover and I was like, I don't know why I haven't read this yet. Then the next one is Happy Endings by Thien Kim Lam. This book, I liked the cover, I liked the description on the back, but when I looked up Goodreads reviews, they were atrocious, so I haven't picked it up because I'm worried that it's a terrible book. And then this next one, people are gonna be like, I can't believe you haven't read that. It just started pouring. It's kind of fun. Okay, anyway, Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I should just bite the bullet and read it, but here's the thing. I hated Punk 57 so much. I hated Punk 57. So, I don't know. I hated Punk 57. I don't know, but I've also heard that you're either a Punk 57 person or you're a Birthday Girl person. So maybe I'm a Birthday Girl person, or maybe I'm just not a Penelope Douglas person. I don't know. We'll see. Now we have all of my fantasy books, or books that I purchased while I was in a fantasy mood, and then I would buy like 2 or 3 because I was in a fantasy mood, and then I would read one and then I'd be out of my fantasy mood. So these are the leftovers, I guess. So starting off with a big one, we have The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. This book is so beautiful, and I think I've read like 100 or something pages of it, and but I don't have a bookmark in it, so I don't know how much I've read. Not enough to remember. Like I will have to start from the beginning when I do decide to conquer this, if I ever decide to conquer this. I think I will. I want to read it. It was good when I did. I just wasn't in a fantasy mood. The Last Namsara by Kristen Cicerelli. I don't really remember why I wanted this so badly. I think I saw a TikTok about it, but I bought it secondhand, so it was cheap. Then we have From Blood and Ash. It looks here like I tried to start reading it. I read 20 pages. From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This book I honestly haven't read because it's just not comfortable to hold, but it's like a fantasy romance, but the series is still going. And I don't know that I want to commit. The series is still going, and like there's like I feel like every time I go to Barnes & Noble there's like a new book, and I go to Barnes & Noble like 3 times a week. So the fact that I feel like every 3 days there's a new book in the series is not enticing to me. That sounds like a commitment. Next we have Malice by John Gwynne. I think my dad has read this book. I think this is like a dad fantasy. And again, it's big, and I bought it on the same day as Mask of Mirrors, and I was feeling very ambitious that day, and I have not felt that ambitious since. Then we have Lament, that I clearly bought used because it's an old library copy. This is by Maggie Stiefvater, who is a questionable individual. The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. This book was recommended to people who really enjoy Six of Crows, which is a category that I fall into. However, I haven't read it, so I cannot say whether or not that is true or not. I will let you know. City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. This is a very popular one. This is one that a lot of people enjoy, so, you know, it might be a good idea to pick it up, because I own it, but I have not done that. Shocking. Then we have Vicious by V.E. Schwab, which is, while not thick or, like, overly big, is daunting to me, because I do not enjoy, really the Darker Shade of Magic series. I hated that. I don't know why I'm talking like that. I hated that series. And I tried to read it so many times, and like I have this like disdain for it because I hated it so much. So, but then I loved Addie LaRue, so I'm like torn. So I don't know if this is gonna be closer to Addie LaRue or closer to Darker Shade of Magic. So I'm nervous, and that's why I haven't read that one. Now we have to flip the cart, which is, we're on carpet, so it's not the easiest task. Okay. Oh boy, this is not going the way that I hoped and always envisioned and dreamed of. That didn't go well. So, top level is my June TBR, which I have a whole video July TBR, which I have a whole video on, so I'm not gonna go through that, but we'll do a second level now. So I have the last, or like the last 3 books in the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher. I read, what's the first one? Throttled? I read Throttled, and I liked it, but I'm really bad at reading series. But honestly, now that I'm like looking at them, like I kind of want to read them. I also just finished the most recent season of Drive to Survive, and I'm rewatching Drive to Survive because I love Formula One. So there's no reason I shouldn't have read these, and there's no excuse, and I will be reading them. Okay, next we have the Ravenhood trilogy. Yeah, the Ravenhood trilogy. I've heard really mixed reviews about these. I started the first book and like didn't really like it. Like I'm legitimately like halfway through the first book and I didn't really like it. So maybe I jumped the gun. Maybe I should stop buying the full series. But also they look really nice on my shelves and I will perhaps get to them one day, maybe, possibly, hopefully. Then we have The Secret History. I really want to read this book, but like, look at that font. It's, you can't see it. Oh yeah, look at that. It's a really tiny font. So I don't know about that. I mean, like, I'll read it. Maybe, possibly someday. Another book that I've started and then just stopped reading is Finley Donovan is Killing It. This book was so fun. It's so fun. Like, I'm off 60 pages in. This book is so fun and it's just getting started. Why haven't I read it? In conclusion, I need to continue to read books that I start. But mostly that was during the school year. I've been really good at finishing the books that I start recently. Patting myself on the back. Okay. Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Iyamide is how I think that is pronounced. I did my best and I think I did well, I hope. Anyway, this book is a thriller. I just completely was like, this book, pause for applause. This book is a thriller that's like set at a school and I bought it like in the spring and I should have waited until the fall because it's a very fall book and so I will read it in, you guessed it, the fall. And then the third shelf is books that I have read again but like don't love. So that is my whole physical TBR, which actually isn't that bad. It's not good. Because I'm looking at this physical TBR and I'm like, there's not many books that I want to read anymore. But maybe I will wrap back around. Or maybe I should sell some of them. Anyway, moving on. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. And I will see you when I see you. Bye guys.